How you guys doing? We got Nem versus Humbots right now. A matchup I have never played. I played against Nemesis as Humbots once or twice. It's frustrating for Humbots because he doesn't have the ability to take off her shield with anything other than his ult, and that's always difficult. I like that Humbot stance. It's a good one. So I started out with the Warrior's Blessing, and that's an item that really helps Nemesis through the early game, where her clear isn't as strong. She's not able to get off the same amount of pressure that a lot of other gods are, and this item just enhances that so much. It helps her get off just as much pressure. It helps her be able to sustain, or rather just withstand blows that she takes while she's on the wave. You know, being a melee god, this is short range. And the regen that it gives is just, really helpful for her overall. So you want to make sure you're stacking it up as often as you can in these situations when you're on the wave with the enemy. You know, don't put the priority on him instead of the wave, because you never want to do that unless, the wave is far away. But try to make sure you hit them and the wave. That's always going to be your go-to with this item. Oh, you got me. But I got him back, baby. Cool thing with Nem in this item is that her 3 actually acts as an ability that procs this item. So you get a stack every time you reflect damage. I definitely went beads, the respect beads in this situation, because I don't have any CC immunity or anything, and Humbots is really deadly, even if you're a super tanky god, if you can't respond after he ults. Like there, that was a good ult. He forced me into the tower. I took another shot. I tried to use my 3, but apparently it wasn't up actually. I didn't expect that, so I took a little bit more damage than I should have. Should have been able to respond a little bit better to him there, but that should be okay. He went sprint, respecting my ultimate, but it's always a little awkward going sprint on gods like, oops, definitely just leveled my 3. Be a little bit difficult. It's okay, it's okay. Yeah, it's always a little awkward going sprint on something like Humbots, because like when else do you see that? Just funny looking, but I think it's probably the right idea. The only thing is, like, he can jump over walls, so for the most part he might not need that sprint as much as he'll be able to make use of like a shell to turn fights. So personally I probably would have just went with the shell, because he's got a lot of escape potential already. But I definitely see where he's coming from, and it should still have some positives for sure, especially if he's like pushed up or anything, or just happens to be without his jump. He's doing a good job of just surviving right now.
Trains, baby! I love them.
9 months, baby Ridge.
Hey, Zelk, thank you so much, man. Thank you for the 9 months. That was an awkward game we just had. I feel like you were off for sure. Not to say that negatively, just like you were not playing like usual. Yeah, let's get breastplate.
I will fight to the end.
Go straight into some nice defense here. Then we're going to go with the traditional Nemesis build. She's been very strong this season because, mainly because of this Warrior's Blessing, allowing her to get through the tough early game that she has.
I am the root in his tootinest.
Whoops. Hey, thank you so much. Thanks, Rootin. He does have an ult. See if he decides to use it. Yeah, so it's a combination of the Warrior's Blessing being a lot better, allowing her to get to her late game point, which is, you know, one of the strongest in the game. And pressure from ADCs being relieved a lot. Without Death's Toll, now she can fight back against them a lot better. The thing is, with Attacker's Blessing being reintroduced, I think she's probably going to have a tough time again against them because Attacker's is so strong in general. And offers so much early pressure and push potential. I think a lot of people overrate her because she's kind of like on the come up again. But I do think she's a very solid god still. And she can be a very frustrating one to fight into, depending on who you are. Like I said, this early game will be the only point where he's got a real chance. He wants to seal the deal here and try to take some, you know, big stronghold. Nice, that's good. What? How did I not get that? That's crazy. I was literally, damn it. So surprised that that 2 wasn't enough. Had the whole thing planned out and it just didn't go our way, unfortunately. You can just keep fighting and you know, try to shake it off. It's a upsetting loss, but nice. He doesn't have any mana to work with right now, so we're gonna try to, you know, get some mileage out of that. Yeah, you can also go attackers on Nemesis. It's just a little risky because she doesn't have the sustain anymore that that the Warriors gave her. So it's something that, I don't know, for me, I feel like more often I'd probably like to go the attackers. But just because I'm an impatient kind of player and I want to just fight in the early. But Warriors is designed to really get you to that late game point, which is perfect for Nemesis. So I figured for this video I should definitely go with this build. Hey, do mushroom. Alright, so we'll go for breastplate here if you want the cooldown. And we'll go straight for Titan's Bane. And then I'll go into the auto attack item. I think it works out well for her, getting that little bit of pen in the early so she can just trade better, you know, get the that jump is so frustrating. I know he wants a turn. Get a little bit more pressure on waves and stuff. He knows that he can fight here for as long as he wants, because eventually he's just going to jump over that goddamn wall.
Judgment Day.
First blood.
Shit. That 3 was coming up in 0.5 seconds. Creeps body blocked me, but that wasn't even, that didn't matter much, actually. I was gonna die either way if my shield didn't come up.
I shall place divine judgment onto them.
It's true, Nem is interesting the way that she buys cooldown and attack speed. It's something that almost everyone else avoids, having the 2 of them together. Here we get the shell. Kinda wanna have blink just so I can follow him over these walls, but it's not reliable enough. It won't be up often enough. But that kill is really big for us. It actually brings us into the gold lead. While he does have the experience lead, we're not trailing by any means anymore and looking a lot better.
Chaos.
I don't think he can take this fight anymore. Lord help me if he gets out of it.
You have slain an enemy.
Nicely maneuvered though. He almost found an opportunity for himself where there was none. Now that I am Nemesis coming online, as you can see, the entire match just changed once I got Titan's Bane there and I had, you know, some actual damage. Getting that early Titan's Bane into his defense was really important. I feel like it does more than getting the Executioner at that point for her. This way, I'll go Titan's Bane into the auto attack item, the Katana, and then I'll go Chins and finish it up with something situational, maybe double defense.
I shall place divine judgment onto them.
Actually, I'll go double defense after the Katana here, and then go Chins finish.
Transgressor.
Your middle tower is under attack.
Glory, judgment day.
That ult's always a good tool for Humbots to escape, but he hates using it as an escape because he doesn't have much kill potential without it. You know, he's not the type of god that can handle you in a 1v1 if you're at even with him without his ultimate. He's very much based around that ultimate. Unless you dive like a little too far or something, like maybe I might do. Smart of him to turn that around so that I didn't get the heal off my shield. And you do actually anti-heal, or rather, anti-healing does work against her. A lot of people don't realize that. Oh no! He done fucked up. Was he taunting? Like, I think if he was, I think I'm not accusing him of anything. I think it was just a playful taunt, but I wasn't sure if it was just a voice line from Hunbots. Either way, it's hilarious. Oh man, that's rough. He saw the big opportunity there. He knows that the window for opportunity is closing as, you know, the game gets later and later and I get closer to having my full build. At which point, he'll have absolutely no chance of winning this. In the early game, he definitely had some chance with having a, you know, being Hunbots, having a good pressure game. Not a great pressure game, but a good, solid pressure game in the early, having, you know, a really destructive ultimate and everything. Hey, we just made it.
Divine judgment onto them.
Yeah, I definitely want the double defense at this point because he's packing a punch with his second pen item coming online. You think it was just a voice line? Yeah, it might have been. It looked really funny either way. Yeah, so even though he probably knew that there was potential for me to have my shield there, where even if he knew I guaranteed had my shield, he was still willing to take that fight because hopefully, you know, maybe he would miraculously outdamage me there. Because he doesn't have many opportunities left. I'm gonna try to make the play for this. He just used his ultimate, right? I don't think it's up. My secure isn't great though, so try to turn to him. Oops. I beat nothing and I'm gonna pay for it. Oh, I juked it though. He turned again and the shield takes it. I panic beads. What I actually tried to beads there was it slow, but I think, I don't know. Maybe I was just moving so fast from my ultimate that I didn't end up needing the slow cleanse, because it felt like it was a bad beat. So I mean, it would have been either way because I didn't end up hitting him. But I thought if I beats his slow, I'd be able to catch up with him and kill him before he used his ultimate. That's the bottom line of what my my rationale was there. Ended up working out, but definitely should have made sure I saved the ult for the, or saved the beads for the ult. Most important thing. So you can take positions like that because of the jump. Jumps are so annoying in Duel. Ah, you got another one, huh?
Good job killing
There
that
it is.
idiot. That idiot on the other team.
Again, though, smart of him to take that fight, because even though it's a losing fight, there was a chance that he might have been able to kill me. He's fighting back well, being in such a matchup. Because him coming even close is, you know, is pretty impressive in this later game stage. Yeah, so take risks and just hope they work out, and that's the reality of being in a losing matchup that is, you know, kind of garnered towards the late game for the enemy. I don't think I'll sell that yet because I can't finish my chins. These things don't sell for much at all. Oh, Shield of Thorns actually probably would have been my best bet instead of the Shell. I really love Shell, so sometimes I'll just default to buy Shell when I'm unsure of what I want and not give a second thought. But yeah, in this position for sure, Shield of Thorns would have been better, given that, you know, he's critting, he's doing consistent damage with his ults that I could have used the Shield of Thorns against, and yeah, his damage is very predictable, like with his 2 and everything. We should be fine without it, but yeah, most optimally here, I would have gone the Shield of Thorns. I'm trying to get him to use his ult, but I'm not using it. Trying to put myself in the perfect range for him, and then dash away. But yeah, he's smart. He's holding on to it. He knows what I'm doing. Here he'll probably be forced to use it. Oh, still didn't. Yeah, really patient play.
I shall place divine judgment onto them.
You go for beads. I mean, beads. You go for wards here. And a pot. And yeah, it's a tricky thing going against Humbatz's Phoenix. You notice I'm being very cautious about it, because if he does ult me, even if I beads it, it's still a lot of extra damage that I'm taking. He can just wail on me while that ult is ticking. Doing a lot of additional damage, and it's not really something you want to fuck with, so try to take the Phoenix slowly, or just go for the Bull Demon for the guaranteed safety net there. Still no ult out of him. I finally used it, man. I had to. Eventually, I had to use my beads before he ulted because he scared me into thinking that he was never going to use it, and that was a really smart play, but unfortunately he ended up holding it onto that ult for so long that he never got to use it, and it only came out right after he died. So it's great to, you know, call out somebody's bait like that and not fall for it, but you got to make sure you don't end up playing yourself. Nice. Yeah, he definitely ended up playing himself too hard by waiting so long to call out my bait that he reverse baited. The classic. GG. That was a fun one. Hey, you, Nico. How come I keep getting these Enigma chests, you guys?